So when I was in college, I took this class, and it was actually a pretty hard class. But the first part of the semester was studying Hebrew, and then the second part of the semester was studying Greek. And the hardest part of that whole semester was the Hebrew section. I just could not understand it. I couldn't comprehend some words that we had to do or learn. I couldn't comprehend the vowels because some letters have to have different vowels around it, and it was just really hard. And then learning the alphabet, it was just super hard. I just could not understand it, and that was a struggle for me. But knowing that that class was really hard, what was really beneficial was that learning Hebrew is actually pretty important if you're going to a Christian college, but especially in the Bible. The first part of the Bible, the first section, the Old Testament, the original text was written in Hebrew, and then the New Testament was written in Greek. So I needed to learn it, and I needed to find a way to comprehend Hebrew. And what it really made me think about was how hard it was for me to study Hebrew, but also how hard is it for me when I read a passage in the Bible, a story, how hard it is for me or for you to really understand what we are reading in the text, what the author is trying to say to us. And so when it comes to comprehension, when it comes to really understanding what is truly being said in the Bible, in any book that you read, it is so good to keep reading it to try to understand it. And so we're going to read out of Romans, and we're going to be in chapter 12, verses 1 through 2. What I like about the beginning, the first sentence of this verse in chapter 12 is, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters." And if you know Garrett and you know how he teaches this, you always have to do it with a confident, strong voice. And it's funny because I would always do that with my dad. And so here we go. "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." See, this is a passage that we are going to focus on. And in this passage, what I read was offer our bodies as a living sacrifice, and God's pleasing will, and then at the very end, his good, perfect, and pleasing will. And we read that. We don't really understand what offer our bodies as a living sacrifice mean, because what I think about is back in the old days, way back when Jesus was around, and even before him, what they would do is that they would take a lamb, take it to the altar, and offer it as a burnt offering and sacrifice it, so literally kill it. But what the author, which is Paul, what he's saying is, don't go get a lamb or whatever animal, kill it to sacrifice it for God. What he's saying is that the meaning behind those type of temple sacrifices, behind all of the sacrifices that happen, is the meaning of what the author is trying to get at. And so we read this passage, and we might not understand it first read, but we read it, we sit with it, think about it, and then we need to go back and reread it. And then maybe for some, go back and reread it. Do it as many times as you need to, and really try to understand what is being said in this passage. See, what Paul is saying here is that the way we live is like a sacrifice. The way we live is like a sacrifice. That would have made total sense to the original audience, but for us, it's a little less clear. And actually, for your Trinity practice today, is to go through the whole Bible and find everywhere it talks about a living sacrifice, because there's a lot. But you could start all the way back in Genesis and finish all the way to the New Testament and read about that, but really understand and comprehend what the author of that book is really trying to tell you. So get together with your Trinity group and go through the Bible and find everywhere it talks about a temple sacrifice. Guys, we miss you on the weekends and miss seeing you. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. And please go and follow us on Instagram and Facebook on our pages there to find the questions and the practices for every Trinity session. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully, and tune in with us tomorrow for our next session. Bye, guys.